Hello everyone, I recently took a vacation to my home country, Lithuania. This is some nice food that I ate, although it actually got expensive even for Lithuanian standards, so I can no longer say it's cheap because this thing cost me €7 to eat. Then I found a bottle of Prime for €1 and I thought it was cheap. I actually have no idea what it's supposed to cost, but it was okay for €1. Yep, but not 5 though. And this is me with my sister Grimoire. Family reunion, very nice. More time with family, less time with RuneScape. In fact, I have not logged in to RuneScape at all while I was away. And now as I come back, I see that there's going to be Valamore coming out in the next 4 days. So it's going to be a bunch of new content, yes. So if you look up the price of Dragon Kiteshield, you'll see that is, oh my god, it's actually even way up. Before I left to Lithuania, it was like 67 mil. Now it's like actually 80 million, but because it's like barely traded, is it actually 80 mil? It is made by combining 3 different type of dragon metal lumps and shards, but most of them are very cheap because you get them from rune dragons, which is something that everybody kills. But you know what? I actually have no idea what this is coming from. Maybe from a quest? Because they both like kind of 2 mil each. But then you click on Dragon Metal Slice and you see that it's going for 53 million or 62 million as an actively traded price. I love how there is a buy limit of 50 every day. I just don't think that's going to happen, especially every 4 hours or so. Now, I actually already had 1,800 KC already logged in RuneLite, and this is when I actually started the whole journey. I was just like, well, maybe today is the day. Maybe today I will fill that collection log and I will no longer have to go back to Adamant dragons ever again. And 1,800 is quite a lot because you can do 80 KC an hour, and that's like on actually like peak side. So if you do a little bit of AFKing, that KC an hour is going to drop down by quite a bit. So that means this whole 5,000 KC in general took what, like 60, 70 hours to do or so. So yes, Adamant dragons are the ones that drop the most expensive Dragon Kiteshield piece. In fact, it's like 95% of the whole price. So how come everyone's killing rune dragons then? Like the piece that it drops is only like a couple mil. Well, it's because rune dragons are actually more consistent GP an hour. Every time you kill them, you get a rune bar, and just in general, the drops that you get just overall are just more expensive. It's a guaranteed money making method, right? That's where people create alt accounts and they just leave it AFK. You take the full Justiciar, maybe a Blood Amulet of Fury, Dragon Rider Lance, or maybe like a Fang, and boom, you just leave it AFK. The thing with rune dragons though is that the special attack that they do is that electrifying thing on the floor is that you only need insulated boots to almost completely negate that. So you take that and maximum damage you will receive is maybe 2. I don't know, it does like 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. But it is nothing compared to poison dragons that added dragons deal. Because if you don't have any immunity to poison, so no serpentine helmet or some sort of like anti-venom, it will literally deal like 25s, I think, per splash. Yes, it's going to be like 25 plus 30 plus 25. And you will lose almost all of your HP. And even if you take some sort of anti-venom or anti-poison like the helmet or anti-poison, it's still going to reduce the damage only to like 8, I think. So still it can literally hit you 8 with poison. So compare that with the electricity hits 1s or 2s to poison that generally hits like very high, even with all the immunities. And that's why it's so annoying. You would think that Adamant dragons should supposed to be lower tier, but they still have like 300 life points per dragon. Jesus. The good thing about added dragons is that they have the Ruby Bolt's special attack, which is not a good thing because if you're protecting from range, that means that Ruby Bolt spec will still hit you since it just pretty much ignores and it just deals like 10% of your current HP or something. But that also means that the added dragon itself will be damaged because he's using Ruby Bolts, unlike the Onyx Bolts that the Rune Dragons do. So they may have like 330 HP, the Rune Dragons, but once they heal with the Onyx Bolts, maybe a couple times over the kill, oh my god, it's like actually the same as you would be killing something with 400 life points. But added dragons is like the opposite. They start at 290 HP. They can damage themselves, especially from the very beginning. If they launch that very first Ruby Bolt spec, it will deal 29 damage to them. So essentially they kind of have lower HP on average just because they constantly damage themselves, but then they also damage you. But if you have low HP, that would be like the actual trick to kill them. The lower HP you get, the less they will hit with a special attack. Now I'm looking at the drop table of rune dragons, and they always drop one single rune bar, but added Addy Dragons drop a couple Addy bars, but because they're so cheap, I think there's like 1.6k, 1.8k each compared to 12,000 each. And the problem with this is that because it's not noted, you can't really pick everything up. So you kill one Addy Dragon, 2 Addy bars plus a Dragon Bone, guaranteed every single kill, at least 3 inventory spaces, but it's going to be 4 most likely because of the additional drop. So because my inventory was just constantly full, I was just not picking up half of the items that I would get because I just really wanted to get that one collection log because it's also worth like so much money. But also if I come with full inventory, it's just like, well, what do I eat, like 4 foods after 1 kill? Now the whole killing of Addy Dragons goes something like this. You could possibly do like 20 kills a trip with the gear that I was using, but that is if you actively dodge those poison splats. They do have their own unique attack sound, so if you have the sounds on, you can kind of hear it. Even if you have like your mouse ready to walk somewhere, you can actually dodge quite a lot of damage and sustain yourself with Blood Amulet of Fury. Not fully though, you'll have to still, well, 20 KC a trip or so. But if you don't focus, kind of like Rune Dragons would just leave it AFK and just do whatever, oh yeah, you're gonna have to bank way more frequently. You can easily tell that also by taking 5 prayer pots, which should last a full trip, but if you're doing this method, you will have like 2.5 still left because you ate all the food, because you're just not dodging any poison attacks and you still have way too much prayer left. So it really depends how actively you want to kill those dragons. And I kind of wanted to get those 5000 KC as soon as possible, so I was not using any Justiciar. I just kind of bought the DPS gear. However, I was not using a defender because if your anti-fire runs out, then you're gonna die because you're gonna get hit like 20s, 30s and 50s by dragonfire, and it's usually no problem, but no, because sometimes I AFK for too long, so the anti-fire shield must be on and also the helmet must be on because it's pretty much the same thing. If your anti-poison runs out, you're also going to get burned by 25, 25, 25, which is even worse than anti-fire. So both of these things had to be on at all times. I was actually really trying to upload this video before I left, but I just had 500 KC to go and I just couldn't finish it off. I just wanted to have a nice sleep. So now if I read this mural, I currently have just a little bit over 5.1 thousand Adamant Dragon kills, which is actually more than Rune Dragons that I kill. Yes, Rune Dragons had 4.3 thousand. I actually don't even remember how many Rune Dragons can I kill an hour. Adamant Dragons is 80 KC an hour. Yeah, I already got the piece, Dragon Metal Lump. But as you noticed, I did not get the actual Dragon Metal Slice. God damn it. Never lucky on getting this one. But where's the other one though? You must be getting it from a quest, genuinely, because it doesn't exist. There's only a couple of them. The total loot from Adamant Dragons without receiving the Dragon Metal Slice looks like this, which is actually not too bad. Adamant Dragon, slightly above 5,000, 113 million in loot. That's right, that means this is all guaranteed loot as well. So you could consider Adamant Dragons just like Rune Dragons or whatever else gives consistent money, where you don't have to get lucky to get the main drop. Of course, that would have been like a nice touch, the cherry on the top. But I mean, if you go for 5,000 KC, that's like almost, well, at the time, it was almost getting a couple of these pieces, right? Just by getting this basic loot. But again, how do you bank it all? Because this guy, I ain't banking every 7 kills to make it efficient and bank every single one, but somehow I actually did bank quite a bit of loot, and I sold it over time, and then I collected more of it and I sold it again. It is like a little bit, I guess. It's like nothing like too much. This is how the tab currently looks like, 21 mil. Not bad. Well, I actually picked all of these up, all these play buddies and all these ores and all this and this, and of course I picked up all the dang play likes and places because you can see them. These are literally the only drop, not counting the dragon limbs that you would just constantly see. So that was my only dopamine hit, not counting the limbs. Almost 2,000 adamant bars, but you get them also noted form as well. So this was not me picking up every single unnoted bar. Sometimes you would generally get like 40 at a time, 20 at a time. Now, unfortunately, you cannot see when I hover my mouse, but if you look at the very top of the loot, you see dragon bones, there's adamant bars, and then there's adamant javelin heads, which is surprisingly more expensive than the dragon javelin heads. Like, you do get like double the amount, but even with that, like, how the hell? The adamant javelins is 9.3 mil, while the dragon ones are only 7 mil, but if you alch them, they're gonna be identical in price. Just like dragon bones, 18.3 mil, and addy bars are worth the exact 18.3 0.3 mil when I was using the infinite dig site pendant teleport that you have in your own house. Alright, well, even though I didn't get the piece, the number still went up, so it's nice when I examine this. Now it's over 5,000, and who knows, maybe next time it's going to be 10,000. Alright, bye.